Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of
Hi, hello, good
Seen
morning. How are
Anything. Thanks, Kendall, for interrupting my flow. It's another episode of Seen Anything Good Lately. I'm your host, Atesh, and I guess this is Kendall. You damn fool.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Good to see you again. Hope everything's
How's it going?
good.
Yeah.
I've lost my hair tie. One of a million. So I got to find those other million. Okay. Did you do the introduction, or did I just interrupt everything you just said?
You interrupted everything, so what's the point, Kendall? Should we even continue?
That's the point
Do
of the
you
podcast.
want this?
This thing's over.
Do you want this? Do you hate me? Do you hate me?
And that's why we're not going back to McDonald's. Just have a glitch. Just a glitch in the podcast. Tuesday night.
But it was a train.
It was everywhere. All over my face.
That's why I was naked.
And that's why we're not allowed at Wendy's anymore.
And that's how I met your mother.
Oh wow! You know what?
What?
Have you been keeping up with any of the How I Met Your Father material coming out?
Have I ever? I've seen the whole series.
Have you seen the How I Met Your Father?
Yeah, I've been watching it weekly.
Has it finished? Are they doing 22 episodes again?
No, it's 10.
10.
So I think on Disney Plus they're behind. I watch it by other channels.
Wow, I'm just so surprised. I'm so surprised.
Because as you know, those who don't know, I was a huge fan of How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
This kind of came out while we were at uni, like it was still kind of ongoing, and it was kind of on its decline.
He was all about How I Met Your Mother. I was just like, I was getting my recaps from you, and I'd be like, what the hell is going on there? And then I caught up.
Yeah.
I caught up to the last season, and then we were both, I think, mutually disappointed.
Yeah. I think my thoughts of the finale is realistic, but it's like, you kind of just crap on.
We had two different feelings, that's right. We had two different feelings about how we felt about the end.
Like, okay, it's realistic, sure, but you just crapped on your fans who've been watching for 9 seasons.
Yeah, we were promised and like kind of big finale kind of thing, and like it sounds like they like, to me what they were trying to do was do the whole Jim and Pam, Ross and Rachel on and off again. Are they or are they not meant to be together? I feel like that's what they were trying to do. But what happened was, by the final season, they literally built up this huge arc at the end where Robin was happy and Robin was with Barney. And there's no way at that point that they should come back. But they were like, but remember our plan from the day one? They were supposed to get back together. And they were like, and then they just like wrapped it all up.
Yeah.
They just wrapped it all, like in one episode. They wrapped it all up, like whatever you thought, we're just gonna crap on our story, and basically it was meant to be Robin and
it's this whole time. But yeah, this reiteration is slightly different in the respect that we see the narrator in the original How I Met Your Mother. We didn't see, rest in peace, Bob Saget. We just heard his voice.
Mm-hmm.
And this, now we get to see the narrator and opposed to seeing the kids. But yeah, it's a slightly different take of the story, but it's going to be, we're going to get to the same place eventually. I don't think they should have done it. Okay.
Well, How I Met Your Father?
Yeah. Because like after How I Met Your Mother finished, they were gonna do. They already started filming a pilot for How I Met Your Father, and it's online. It's on YouTube if you want to watch it. It's not very good.
Who's in it?
It's Greta Gerwig.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's her. I'm pretty sure it's her. And if anyone watches Dave, it's Dave's manager who's also in it. And that's all like the notable cast that I can remember. Well, anyway, enough about How I Met Your Mother and How I Met Your Father. Hey, Kendall, have you seen anything? Have you seen anything recently?
Yes, I have. If you turn around and look at the back of your wall, okay, the other side, I saw the
NBA
Batman.
2K13.
What?
I've got a poster of NBA 2K13 on my wall.
Well, I'm talking about the Matt Reeves 2022.
Did he direct NBA 2K13 as well?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not a lot of people know this.
No.
Not a lot of people know this.
It's inside, yeah.
You got to start.
On NBA 2K13. I mean, like, if you know, you know kind of thing, but like...
But, you clearly don't know. Because,
I just said I knew.
I'm a huge Matt Reeves fan.
I'm a real big 2K guy. I love the Millennium.
So, the Batman.
Haven't seen it.
What? You haven't seen it?
Haha, joke's on you. You just got pranked, bro. No, I've seen it. I saw it. I watched it last night. I mean, yesterday. It's been a long time coming. I watched it.
Well, that was an interesting pause. I was like, what's he gonna say? I watched it. Okay. You should have saw yourself. You're like this. I was like, yeah, I watched it. Yeah, okay.
What did you think of it?
I thought, and I discussed this with you before, it's a really good film. It's a really, just like as a film in itself, and nothing to do with the lore of Batman or the franchise of Batman or the huge fandom around the film cinematic adaptations of this character. Just as a piece of filmmaking on its own, it's like I couldn't help but like I had a strong urge to clap, especially in the storytelling as well. It's visually stunning, great use of noir, black and whites, the shadows, colors, costumes, the set designs, the music, makeup, hair, makeup, everything. Everything is just like the acting. I can't forget the acting, the directing.
Mm-hmm.
So like it seems like Matt Reeves told everyone to be like, this should be homework, as in it should be hard, because we're not doing something small. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. This is like what I have in my head. It has to be intricate and but still like quite approachable. It's quite you can break it down, and it's quite a simple story, but there's a lot of psychology going on in the story. I found the story, to me, like we always talk about, like I always feel like the stories of any film or any kind of product is what is my bread and butter. I love that. Story always comes first to me, and I was looking at the story, and it's doing so much. It's like doing so much that I didn't know how they were doing it. Usually you don't get enough time. You don't get enough time to dedicate to Alfred. Usually you don't get enough time to dedicate to all these like C-list characters.
Yeah.
But they all get a chance to shine. I suppose it has something to do with the story of Batman is the story of Gotham.
Yeah.
And that's why everyone is given a chance to shine, because it's about everyone who lives in this, what Gotham does to you. And
I find that interesting. I wouldn't say it's a very good movie. I'd say it's good.
But you wouldn't say it was a very good movie?
No.
Are you tainted from hype?
I think a little bit, but also I found the movie too long.
Oh yeah.
Like, to me, if it was going to be like perfect, it needed to be 40 minutes shorter. There were 40 minutes of that movie you could cut. I think the kind of final act was kind of it dragged on a little bit.
Mhm.
The things I did like that. So I'll go to the things that I liked. I love the detectiveness of this movie. I love the kind of like the Sherlock Holmes aspect where he was investigating and going around with Gordon. He's not a commissioner yet, is he?
No, I think he's like
No.
a captain.
He's a detective or something. I like how he's going around with Gordon, like trying to solve this crime. I like that aspect of it. I thought that was really cool because I don't think we've ever seen a detective Batman movie, have we?
I honestly want to count those the Dark Knight film, but no, nothing.
Not live action.
But yeah, not live action. I know for a
But,
fact
like,
in the animated films, he was doing all that detective stuff.
And like in the Arkham games, it kind of reminded me of that. Like when you have to solve a crime. And it works well in the video game medium where you have to like use your magnifying glass and use your other tools to solve a crime. But I really liked the detectiveness of it because we've never seen it before in a live action Batman movie. I love the noirness of it. You know what would have been cool if it was in black and white. If there was like if there's a black and white
version of it.
If there's a black and white cut, they should really. I think it'd be a really cool way to watch the Batman movie in black and white, especially with the narration. So I would like it in black and white because they've done it before with Mad Max. That was, I think, black and chrome or something.
Yeah, but that was digitally touched up.
Yeah. I mean, you can still do that with Batman. I love the performances of Patterson. Like, he's a great actor. Zoe nailed Catwoman. I would like a little bit more purrs, but that's just me being a fan of Nicole Kidman's Catwoman. No, Nicole Kidman. I mean, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer. I was with.
Paul Dano was really good. Like I like our three lead characters, Bruce / Batman, Catwoman, and the Riddler. I don't know if this is a thing, but I made the interpretation like these guys are the product of Gotham. So these guys,
the new generation.
Yeah, but they're the products of corruptness, of the system messing them over, and kind of crime.
I would also say mental illness.
Yeah,
because they're all three of them are traumatized by their history with Gotham.
Yeah, I mean, Bruce has got a different take of it.
He has a little history of
mental illness in his family. Yeah. And it would be really cool if they actually, in future movies, because this is getting a sequel.
It's getting a trilogy.
I don't want a trilogy. I want like a series of movies, like James Bond style. Like I want like I don't because I think trilogies now are kind of a thing of the past, and I don't think like a big franchise now these days you don't have to do trilogies. I would like a series of movies, and I like it kind of like a 5-film series. We can talk about this a little bit later, because I've got an idea what they could do, and how they should end it.
Okay.
But I like the three. I like the aspect of like these three characters are the product of Gotham, and their parents are engulfed in Gotham as well. Or in Riddler's case, does it have any parents?
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, we know.
And he said he had parents, but they were like killed by that reporter or something like that.
Yeah.
and he thinks his dad was the reporter.
Yeah.
But we later find out that that's not his real name.
Yeah.
That the reporter's name doesn't match up with Edward's name. So it's like that's quite ambiguous.
Yeah. But I think it was a good movie. I just think it's a little too long. I think it should have been cut 40 minutes. Taken 40 minutes off the movie.
I don't know. I think I'd have to watch that again. I'd have to watch it again because I like I'm very I would say I'd have to I wouldn't say like that, but like I'd probably disagree with you on the fact that, and this is like even though it's fresh in your mind, I still had like my mind is like it's been quite a while since I've seen it, and I actually do want to watch it again. But what I like about it, like what makes it like pretty great is the fact that there's a lot of themes, a lot of characters, and a lot of intricacy going on. Like let's say like that I don't see in these types of what would you say, superhero films or detective films, where the character psychology is examined and everyone how do I put it? Each of the characters has a piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
And Batman has to go around collecting them. But the way he has to collect them is that like he has to trade things with other people to get them. And we follow Batman, and basically you see everyone has their own agenda, everyone is doing their own thing. And then, but usually we don't get enough. Usually in a regular blockbuster film, we don't get to see that. We just see Batman and the villain. But in this one, it's Batman, the villain. The villain's already done. But all the other characters, Penguin has an agenda. Falcone has an agenda. Catwoman has an agenda.
Yeah.
And like it's and
I mean even Gordon.
Everyone here, every character, and they're getting it. Like they're getting the thing that they want, and like there's so much time committed to just Alfred. Even Alfred has a thing where like he wants them to like, and understand. I think Alfred wants to has like a thing about a kind of parental guardianship over him.
I mean, he's been looking after him for like 20 years.
Yeah, and I think he wants to be respected as like his dad. But at the end of the film, he's respected as family. Because like only family gets to see the person in the hospital, and who's there waiting for him? It's Bruce. Yeah. And basically, like, but so everyone, like I said, everyone gets a chance to like. Everyone has an agenda. Everyone is like usually you don't get this in regular films. Flushed out characters, and the psychology makes so much sense. I feel like I'm missing another character as well. I've never seen a Batman film committed to comic accurate history, because I was like it blew my mind away that like how much of it, like usually we don't get like live action films, the directors usually just like hint at the thing, or they just
especially for whatever reason DC doesn't stick to their source material that much.
That's what they're for. Like you can go to the backlog and just take those pieces of material and just translate it, and that's what Matt Reeves has done. Like the scene where in the books, Martha Wayne is actually an Arkham, so that actually happened in the books, and the Arkhams are the ones who suffer from family mental illness, and basically the Arkhams have been there for years, and they got an asylum named after them. A history of scandals on the Arkham side of the family. Thomas Wayne actually is a doctor. The reporter guy is supposed to be is it Thomas Elliot or something? Elliot Wayne. Elliot Wayne. He's supposed to be like the what's what I'm looking for? He's supposed to be like the long lost relative of the Waynes or something like that, or like Bruce's brother.
Wait, in that show, there was a show that they did a couple of years ago called Powerless with Vanessa Hudgens.
Yeah,
It's like a DC sitcom with Danny Booty, who's also in it.
yeah, and Alan Tudyk.
Yeah, and as an Alan Tudyk playing like his cousin or something. Is that the same
Yeah.
character?
Oh, no, I think that was supposed to be Hush.
Oh yes, yeah.
That reporter character was supposed to be Hush, and that makes sense that he's like, that maybe it's left quite ambiguous that maybe Edward Nashton is his son.
Yeah.
So kind of all like it all makes sense. This kind of this family of mystery and a history of mental illness. I like it. There's so much more. Like if you look in the background, there's so much of it. There's another one. Oh, the fact that Selena Kyle. If you're not used to us talking spoilers already, that's
it's too
basically
late
all the
now.
show.
It's too late now.
Well, anyway, the idea that Selena Kyle is the child of Falcone. So that was in the books as well, but she finds out and she's like, she doesn't want to believe it in the books. There's so much drawn from the books that I was just like, really just, I felt really spoiled. You know what I mean? That we got like so much, and then they kept to the mythology of the Riddler, the mythology of the Joker.
Can we talk about that now, or do you want to wait?
No, let's do it now.
I didn't like that. I didn't like the Joker scene. And that seemed false.
Oh, that last one? Yeah, we were just talking about this.
Yeah.
It's because
not the deleted scene. There's a deleted scene that they just released online. But
I'm talking
scene in the movie.
The scene in the movie with the Joker in it. It's a kind of I don't know, teaser, but they're setting up for the next film.
I don't want him. I don't want. Because this is where my plan for future movies come in. But just for now, I reckon it would have played better if Joker was just in the shadows and Riddler was just talking to the Joker, and then the Joker just laughing, like you just hear the laugh. I think that would have worked better as opposed to having that kind of conversation that they were having.
The one where like we're friends, that conversation.
Yeah.
I thought
because if you're going to put in a Joker scene, okay, I feel like that's more from the studio as a studio note, because it kind of seemed a little bit rushed. Like it didn't enhance the story anyway, and it didn't do anything for the story. And a lot of that movie was thought out really well. Like each scene kind of had a purpose, even though I disagree with the length. I just think that scene could have been taken out and you'd still have the same product.
I disagree with you at the timing thing, only because I think that without having like that opportunity to have flesh out all these characters, it requires that time.
Oh no, but there was a lot of like that last act. It was a lot of wasting time.
Yeah. Yeah. We need to get back to that. Remember that. Take that note down and bring it back later. Okay. I think that the reason why, because recently I think yesterday on the 25th of March, they dropped 2022. They dropped because I'm dating in this, okay? I'm trying to date this. The record, okay? They basically they drop. I thought that was weird as well. No studio should be dropping deleted scenes when the film it hasn't been released via, I don't know, the streaming platform or DVD or whatever.
Well,
like you shouldn't be dropping this
as promotion for the HBO Max release. So the HBO Max release, I think, is next month.
Well, then they should drop an appropriate.
Yeah, because I literally saw them. I saw the movie yesterday, and I planned to see it earlier, but other things got in the way. And then as I was just before I was watching it, like before I left home to watch a movie, I was scrolling through YouTube, deleted scene, Batman and Joker. I'm like, oh, why? Why? Which was a minor spoiler for me, I suppose. But I was expecting the Joker to be in this movie.
Like you said before, the scene is not necessary. It's not necessary for the film. I think the reason why they put Joker in there is because this is year 2 of Batman.
Yeah.
I think year 1 was him capturing Joker.
Yeah.
And then Joker was in prison. And then but because because Batman is constantly going to prison to get information, he's walking, he's getting in and out. They're trying to do a why not consult the greatest criminal that one of the greatest criminals Gotham has, like, and the only way you could have caught the Joker is with a Batman. And so why not go to the biggest criminal in Gotham at the time for that kind of insight? You know, it's kind of it's a Hannibal Lecter scene, where he because he's from that scene, he's nailing it.
Yeah,
he's nailing everything. He's getting it all right, and it just shows the genius, the genius mind of the Joker. But like I said before, it's not necessary for the film. But having him in what's the word I'm looking for? Having him meander in the background is to help. What's the word I'm looking for? In a very kind of nuanced, or not nuanced way, but it's signifying to us that this is a post Joker Gotham.
Yeah.
The post year 1 Batman. That's why he's in the prison. To have and to not show that would show that like maybe this is like he really hasn't met the Joker yet, that the city isn't as corrupt as we think it is. And I think that's the point of Joker. I don't think that lead scene is necessary for the film, like you said. It really is just
it is a deleted scene at the end of the day. Like,
yeah, it's in the way. It's blocking. You know, it's like it's telling us things we already know.
And also, like, if that scene was in the movie, it would take a lot from that movie, because you're like, oh, Joker's in this. Like, you'll take a little bit away from Paul Dano's fantastic performance as the Riddler, because I think you'd be thinking, oh, cool, they're setting up Joker. I think that would be more of a conversation than anything else if you still had that scene in. Did you want to talk about the final act?
I think, yeah, let's talk about the final act. But that's my reason why they had him in, because they're trying to set up that this is the world is, it's not fully formed yet.
Yeah.
But it has been through its year 1.
Yeah.
You know?
And just touching on that as well, I love Batman's fighting style. It's still kind of rigid. It's not like it's not tamed.
Wow.
It's kind of like still kind of, what's the word? Like, there's still no structure to his fighting. Like, it's not controlled. Like with the Nolan Batman, he was a little bit. Bale's Batman was more controlled, right? Because he had that training, or that we know of anyway. We don't know if this Bruce had that training, but it's still like, it's not very controlled. It's still kind of like MMA fighting.
Yeah, like you have to like roll with the punches, kind of thing.
Yeah,
like there's a word for it. I saw it in the making of John Wick. It's a kind of fluidity where mistakes are meant to be made to make it more authentic. In a real fight, you can expect the unexpected. Yeah. So if something goes wrong, goes wrong, it's time for you to maneuver into something else. Like, be spontaneous, improvise, but you should be always fluid. With like, if someone hits you on the back, you punch one person in that and you knocked them out, but the other person that just punched you on the back, it's time for you to change your style, your movement, because the actual fight and raging it's fluid. You don't know what's going to happen. You need to adjust yourself constantly. Like you're super smart, like MMA fighters who know like where they're going to go and what's going to happen, reading your opponent. But yeah, I noticed that in the film as well. But getting to the
final act.
I would agree with you on the final act, where the climax of the film. I like the symbolism. I like the symbolism, but I do not like the fact that him fighting those
other Riddlers,
Riddler wannabes. Yeah, it seemed like it was like almost CGI-esque. I know they put the CGI in there for the smoke, because how are you supposed to get real smoke and show a Batman through it? You can't control the smoke. And that's why everything looked kind of digital and very. I was like, this is like everything had been real up until that point. Up until that point, it became like an Avengers fight, a very Marvel fight.
And even like with all our heroes like on that platform.
Other than that, I was like, I think that fight was weirdly choreographed. Maybe that was a producer stepped in and said we wanted to be like this. I don't know. I would like to be in like out of place.
I would like to be in a meeting, like a production meeting of Batman, like this particular film. I would like to see what interference the studio had, because the studio did have some sort of interference in it. I definitely think the Joker thing was an interference from the studio.
Really? I feel like the Joker thing was him. I thought that was Matt Reeves. Matt Reeves he's playing it close to the books, because so much of the books have been so he's drawing so much from the books and interpreting it and adapting it for his own mythology. So he for me, I think that he purposely put Joker in there.
I think it's because this was filmed around the same time when Joker came out, right? The Joaquin Phoenix movie. Yeah. And I think that may have something to do with it. I think this Batman movie, the Joker scene, I think it would have worked better. You could have it in, but not show him as much. Like not show his head or anything, and maybe just have him in the shadow. Like have him as a shadow, I think would have worked better. And then maybe do the laugh, and then that's your tease.
Oh damn! There's something else I wanted to mention. Oh yeah, I think there's this kind of like symbolism I was telling you about if you've seen that episode of Fresh, there's that kind of like symbolism I told you about, like having certain characters embody an entire group of people. Like so we got this all the corrupt old school Gotham are all a bunch of like old white men, and then they basically corrupted the institutions, like the police, the justice system, politics, all of that,
finance,
the orphanage, everything from top to bottom. And basically and who's running for the new mayor? What's her name? Something Royale?
Renee
Royale. Monet?
Janelle Monáe.
That is, Janelle Monáe was her. She was running for election in Gotham. Remember? That chick looked like her.
She was walking through the tightrope.
Okay, let's take it. Okay. No, you're taking it too far, buddy.
I think this is before she did yoga. Oh, is she a hidden figure? I don't know. There was 3 Janelle Monáe references. Boom! You would not get it on any other podcast. Bang, bang. I'm like a sniper. Someone call the shooters.
Oh my gosh. And you know what? I actually enjoyed those jokes as well. Oh man! Oh my
Shout out to
gosh!
Janelle Monáe.
Yeah, shout out to Janelle and good luck to her election in Gotham.
If she ever wants to be a guest on the show,
Oh
come
my
on in.
god!
We'd love to have you on. I'm a big fan.
Oh yeah, so Janelle Monáe, she's running for, for election in Gotham,
Yeah.
and basically she's representing the future.
Yeah.
Having this black female, diverse person of color.
Even she has a conversation with Bruce Wayne. You know, like
about his privilege.
You should be doing more.
Yeah.
Like,
And
why aren't you doing more? Which I think is kind of cool that they're setting the. I think in the future Batman movies, Bruce Wayne's obviously going to do more because he even said like at the end, like, we need to do more now, and he understands his power and what he has, like as Bruce Wayne.
It's about him accepting his privilege and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like even Alfred, who got he's a servant. He's an actual butler. Like his whole job is to be like servants have a history of being the underclass, working class, and he's telling Bruce that you need to focus on these accounts, and you have a meeting. Like this is the way. This is how you're supposed to save Gotham. And then it later comes back again in the film where he finds out that his parents, the Thomas Fund or the Wayne Fund, is what's paying these corrupt people because they've been all pinching from it. And I was like, you wanted to go play dress up and fight small time crime when you could have done so much more as
Bruce Wayne.
As
Bruce Wayne, as a philanthropist.
As Bruce Wayne, exactly. But he didn't. He's like, wait, in his, he had all this privilege and wealth, and you decided to dress up as an animal.
A bat. You're a bat.
You're a bat, Robin. But I was like, so we got the symbolism of this young, wealthy, rich boy, and I love there's that line of like, Riddler even mentions it.
Yeah.
There's that line on who's that character that Lady Gaga played in the House of Gucci?
I don't know her name. I can't remember her name. I think she just played Lady Gaga with an Italian accent.
She did.
She was called in a bad romance in that movie.
Oh, come on, man! You just like that's enough now. You know that's enough. That's enough now. But anyway, there's a great line that.
Hey! I've got a poker face.
Stop! I knew you were gonna do that. You're just looking for more, aren't you? You're looking. Go on, do another one. I want to hear you do another one. Come on.
Hey, I was born this way. But like, to be fair, I'm actually like looking for an applause.
No, there was
But if you've got an issue with this, just call me on my telephone.
Oh my gosh! Is there a switch button to this? No, there isn't. There's a great line that character, that the actual person that Lady Gaga plays. She says, "Better to cry in a Rolls Royce than to cry," or something like that. Do you know the line? Better to cry in a Rolls Royce than to it's always better to cry in a Rolls Royce. Basically, what she's saying is you're better to be rich than to be poor, and like kind of appreciate that you get to cry in a Rolls Royce. The fact that she knew the privilege, and basically Bruce is this young white male with a lot of money, and we got the old guard who's just these old, historically speaking, the system has been corrupted by these older white gentlemen, and basically we have this this person of there's not a lot of women of color in this, except for the mayor and Zoe.
Yeah.
And then so there's an interesting
Well, to
symbolism.
be fair, there's not a lot of females in this movie.
No, it is a Batman movie, you know what I mean? It's like meant for like little boys and stuff like that. But
All right. We live in a
we get what you. But there's a great piece of symbolism at the end of the film where he leaps off of the he can see the people down below almost like kind of like they're struggling because the dam is broken, and basically everything is toppling down, and all the people of the city are down there and he's up there. So we get this kind of power dynamic. He's up there looking down above them, and the police are all up here. And basically there's an electric cable, and Batman realizes that he has to go down there. He has to go to the people. So he kind of lowers himself. He understands where his privilege now. He understands he understands that his family was the root of all the problems, and more specifically him for not getting involved in what his family's wealth. So he's like, no, I screwed up. Me being a Batman was a step in the wrong direction. He leaps down after cutting that electrical cord. Leaps down, falls into the water. He knew he was going to die, but he wanted to die down there.
Yeah.
And he would be saving those people.
Yeah.
So, but when he gets back out of the water, he raises his hand. Bruce Wayne raises his hand, and he puts his hand up for the mayor, and the mayor as a symbol of the future. But she's hesitant. She doesn't do it. There's a young female next to him, and she's scared of him because you don't
really know this dude.
He's dressed as a bat.
Yeah.
And
he fights criminals. Yeah.
I think it's like, and he's about like, it's like, why should I trust you? You basically break the laws of which we try to uphold. Why should I, you with your privilege to break laws even? He's so his white privilege has allowed him to break the laws of the criminal system, of the police. The police are working along an actual vigilante, which is insane. Only in Gotham would you be allowed to do that. And so she's not going to take his hand. She's very hesitant, and she's right to. But who does she save? Or who does he save? The little boy whose parents died at the beginning of the film. It's
him saving himself.
Yes, he's saving himself.
He's saving himself before he goes to the turmoil that he went through, pretty much. Yes,
and basically saving there's. I'm pretty sure this boy is also very privileged as well, but basically he gets to save himself. You can't fight evil all the time. Sometimes you have to that's what he says at the end of the film, where it's not about vengeance anymore. It's about you can fight back with compassion.
Yeah.
And he puts his hand out, and the little boy takes it. The little boy just takes it because he knows who Batman is, kind of he understands that there's a shared glance of where he's here to help, and he's me, and and then only then does Mayor Royale follow along. And I just thought to myself, as a piece of symbolism, we got the future, the young boy who represents the future. We got a strong, diverse woman of color. Character representing the future, what the future looks like. The future of Gotham is bright and diverse, and it is a strong female led, and he comes from that system of old white rich money, and basically they meet in the middle, where they can save each other. If we understand the flaws of the sins of our fathers, basically, it's written on the floor. Sins past, and we can change. We can change that. And I was like, we can't just fight vengeance with vengeance. We can't go to riots and protests. Sometimes we have to just go and give a helping hand.
Yeah. So, any final thoughts on this movie?
I liked it. You're wrong. I'm right. End of story.
I never said I didn't like the movie. I think it's good. It's not very good.
You said you hated it.
Fake news.
I've got the best fake news.
I got the greatest. I got the greatest. Everybody knows I got the greatest.
Have you been working on your impression?
No, because you know what it is?
What?
I watched. This is me doing Alec Baldwin's Donald Trump.
Oh, I see.
Because Alec Baldwin has already dissected. Alec Baldwin's already dissected it for me. Like a lot of like impersonations. If you watch the impersonator, it's already dissected. So you just need to do what they're doing. And like it's gonna be like it's obviously like it's like, you know, like it's like when your mum makes like the perfect dish, right? And she tells you the ingredients and the recipe for it, and then when you make it, it's not as good. It's kind of like that.
Okay, your final thoughts on the film?
It was a good movie. It was fun. I like the detectiveness of it. I love the Nirvana music.
Oh,
Rock on.
yeah.
It because I think like the way the age of Bruce Wayne is probably like our age, like late 20s, early 30s. So I like that it's got like he's got that kind of that going for him. I love Catwoman. They're setting up like a Catwoman series, I think. A Gotham series or Arkham series, I think is the same thing. But they're setting up a lot of TV shows.
Oh, wow.
And my jazz hands are going to be in it.
Okay, cool. I suppose that's the show.
Yep. There's another episode. Don't forget to like, hit the subscribe button, leave us a comment,
Follow
us
us
on Instagram.
And we'll see you next time on Dragon
Ball Z.
Dun, 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 dun.